it's interesting to kind of have a think about why this rejection exists. Like, when we talk about the pandemic and we see all of those protests against wearing a mask or saying that the pandemic is a hoax, or all the way to vaccines, saying that vaccines don't help and like that they cause other medical issues instead, which I think is really scary if you think about that. But like, why do you think this is something that is so prominent right now?
I mean, I think it goes along with this, anti-establishment type of mood, and like, I need to think on my own because everything I'm hearing, it doesn't, speak to my interests. It doesn't speak to me. I need to, be a free thinker. But yeah, it goes way too far in the other direction. I mean, right now in the US, the big one is the QAnon. People may have heard about it. And it's like they've taken every conspiracy theory and put it under this one umbrella of like, we just believe everything that people say is wrong. And it's kind of taken the country by storm, very far right elements of it. But yeah, scary is like an understatement with what it is. And, we saw it with the anti-maskers, anti-vaccine stuff, saying that, the pandemic is a hoax and they're going to create a vaccine that's a microchip to put in us. But it does, like, you think about it, well, like, obviously the pandemic isn't a hoax. Obviously we do need a vaccine, but do we need, who's going to create this vaccine? It's going to be these pharmaceutical companies that make millions and millions and billions of dollars. And so, on the one hand, it's crazy to think that all of these people dying is a hoax. But on the other hand, you do question the I don't want to say the motives, but you do question the powers that be that control all of the science, that control all of the research, and what benefits they're going to get when they do finally come out with a vaccine, when they do come out with ways to handle the pandemic.
Yeah, and I think I really agree with that. And I think it's really easy to dismiss people and call them fascists and like just move along with our lives. But this movement is growing for a reason. It's growing because people have been hurt by the system over and over again, and the establishment and its institutions, which include all of these private companies that you're talking about that are creating vaccines now, but are not gonna, give the vaccine away for free, even though it's a pandemic that's hurting everyone. They're gonna make countries and make people pay a lot of money to get those vaccines, even though if they could just produce it for free. And, we had an organized way of distributing it so that the people who are at the most risk get it first, not the people who have the most money to spend on it, then we would have a completely different reality. And I think that it's not crazy to question those institutions. It's not crazy to question the medical institution when you need to pay so much money to, especially in the US, when you need to pay so much money to like heal yourself, and then sometimes it doesn't work, but you're still in debt. And even in countries that have socialized medicine, it's still, there's long queues before you can go and get the treatment you need. A lot of the time, the treatment you need is really expensive for the country as well. And it's just all of these private companies benefiting from every single medical system. And I think, obviously, when there isn't this kind of analysis that can explain why this is happening, and that the problem isn't science, the problem isn't the facts that we know about the world, it's the people who control the resources in the world and the people who control the production and the way that things are distributed in the world that are the problem. It's very easy for the far right to come in and kind of, take advantage of that inherent mistrust of working class people who are not fascist, who are not far right, but are looking for answers and looking to kind of find a solution to the problem that they are having. And